Hey guys, Southeast Softwash. Today is Wednesday, January the 5th, but we're going to call it Monday. We're back from the holiday break. We've got a couple new employees. This is one of them. You guys are going to be seeing a lot of Richard. So Mr. Richard Cox is one of our new guys that started with us Monday, the other day. Today is Maintenance Monday. We're just doing it on a Wednesday because we didn't get around to it the other day. So we're going to try to do a series of Maintenance Monday stuff, me and him. He is, as much as I know on the Softwash side, he knows on the pressure side. So that's one reason we got super lucky snagging him, getting him to come up here and work with us. And yesterday, we were talking about a very common problem. We're probably going to add this video to our tech support page. So if you're watching this video, we may have sent you the link. And it's one we get, I don't know, probably a few times a month. Yeah. And it's seasonal sometimes. It just depends on the rainy weather and things that are going on. I'll throw in a screenshot right here of what we're talking about. We'll come in and look at this pump right here. So take a look at this screenshot. All right, and through the magic of editing, we're back. Come in here and look right here, Ty. It's got the camera. So we've got pump oil, right? We've got pump oil and this big old sight glass on this AR pump. That's dirty oil, but two things are going on here. Richard, stop me if I say something wrong, because I know enough to be dangerous. That's kind of how we are. We know our way around a pressure washer, but there's a lot of stuff here that he's a lot more versed on. Our level is correct, okay? And there's no watery milkiness like you saw in that picture earlier. So the question we get, or honestly, this is how we usually get it. Hey, I've got my trailer or my skid that I've had from you guys for a couple weeks, couple months, and I think my seals are shot. Yeah. And honestly, to be honest, the first few times when we started building equipment that we got that, we thought the same thing. The guy would send a picture, we'd say, well, daggum, you know, and we'd send this guy a brand new pump. That's us losing several $100s, which I'm fine with if that's what we got to do to make it right. But we've since learned, talking with the manufacturers and our vendors and talking to some other guys like Richard, that ain't normally the problem, is it?
No.
So what's the problem, typically?
The problem is condensation getting in the pump. The fill cap on top is vented. So if the humidity is high in your area, odds of this pump heating up, and then when it cools off, drawing the ambient air outside into the pump, it's got moisture in it. That happens 4 or 5 times. Next thing you know, it looks a little milky in there. The oil level hasn't drastically changed, but yet your oil has now turned to what we call a milkshake.
Right. It looks just like that picture. Or that was a severe version in that photo, but it can maybe not look quite that bad. And so I get it, you know, I understand why the guy is freaking out, because it does look like, and the first thing they think is what? What are they thinking?
They're thinking they've blown the seals in here, and the water's blowing back into their crankcase of the pump. It's usually not the case.
What, like usually we mean like 99% of the time that's not the case. And so we've had several warranty issues for that. It's not crazy, but it does happen from time to time. And so we wanted to just let you guys know what's going on most of the time. Now, it could be a bad seal. It could be. And if it is, we'll take care of that. But we don't also, the first option isn't for Southeast to just lose $1,000. So we want to make sure that that's not what's going on is humidity. What's a telltale thing that's telling us it's not a bad seal?
The oil level. If the oil level has not drastically increased in this sight glass, you don't have a bad seal. It's just condensation got inside the crankcase of the pump. Once that water churns in with the oil, it's never going to separate.
Right.
Change it.
And I know a guy who was pressure washing his trailer. He just had water, and he was washing the unit off at the end of every day, which is a good idea, but he's throwing a bunch of mist right here around it, and he actually caused it himself. So what do they need to do to remedy that situation?
As far as
getting this back
out is to change it.
Right.
Simply change it. And you may have to change it several times. If you're operating this in a mist or a rain, it's going to be more prevalent and show up quicker in this sight glass.
Right. So don't freak out. If you see that, it's probably just humidity from the ambient air. Do an oil change. Now we have another thing you might could do. We were talking about this yesterday. If you want to go like super fancy, the mineral spirits route. It's not like sanctioned by the pump guys, but draining it, putting some mineral spirits in the pump, cycling the pump by hand, just with the pull cord to kind of get it all throughout the piston chambers, and then draining that, and then doing another oil change. that's probably too much work for what we're trying to do, because it's okay to have a little bit of moisture in there. It's not the end of the world. You do want to document it, okay? And if you reach out to us, we're going to send you this video just to say, hey, don't freak out. That's probably all that's going on. Anything, am I missing anything? What kind of oil needs to go in there?
Pump oil. You need to use a good quality pump oil. There's several on the market. You want to talk about in a bind, what to do? If you're in a bind and you can't get your hands on pump oil, 30 weight, non-detergent, in most cases will suffice. But I want to touch on something that you said. You mentioned you had a customer who rinsed his machine rig off. I don't rinse it all off. Stay away from your engine. This is an air-cooled engine. Don't be putting cold water.
We don't need to rinse that off.
Don't rinse this.
Just if you want to rinse your trailer down or something, you know, that's fine. I honestly, we know a guy that bought a trailer from us, and he was bad about parking like really close to the job in the driveway. We like to park a little ways off just for that reason. I don't want to get bleach overspray if the wind blows or anything like that. So I'm going to use that 200 foot of hose to kind of keep my rig over there. There's a lot of reasoning behind all that stuff. So you've also got a gearbox here. It's the same thing can happen to the gearbox. I don't think the gear is pulling in as much like the pump is, because it's not creating negative pressure.
I have seen contaminated oil in a gearbox, but it is
more rare than
it is very seldom compared to a pump.
Right, just because of what the pump's doing is creating a vacuum. So,
but it's not a oh my gosh, we got to stop everything right now. I got a problem.
Right.
Change the oil out. Keep an eye on it.
That's it. All right. Maintenance Monday on a Wednesday. You're going to be seeing a lot of Richard here on the channel. He's got his own channel. I'll put a link down in the description below. A lot of this cool tinkering, it's dude stuff. All right. If you're one of these guys that I've picked on a little bit and ranted, and we just made an observation that a lot of guys just don't know their way around guy stuff. It's okay. Go to a channel like that and just watch and learn. And that's, hey, we all have to learn at some point. And I learned when I was a teenager. My dad cussed at me while I held a flashlight, and that's not going on anymore in America. So if that's you, go over to his channel. He won't cuss at you on his channel a whole lot, but you can get some good info on small engine stuff and just keeping yourself running in the field. So if you see that, not the end of the world, that's probably what it is. Take care of it. We'll see you later.